Now, since this planet is very small, one thing that it's actually feasible to do is a visual anomaly scan. Now, I can only get this side of the planet, but I'm pretty sure I can rule out the presence of any Easter eggs on the portion that I can see. Because normally I wouldn't go looking for Easter eggs. But, you know, this is a unique opportunity. Like, so the monolith must be on the other side. We are the monolith. Okay, anyway, so, next thing we're going to do. We could go low Oculus, but there's not really much of a point except for the science. We've already seen what we need to see. And Delta V, I do want to get to everything here. I do want to be able to get to all the planets in the system. So I think I am just going to go... Hades has had a little bit of an inclination to it. So do I go to Ares, or do I go to something outer? Actually, no, this isn't a good spot, so actually I will go to Hades. Let's deactivate the reactor and see when our nodes next line up. So about a little bit east should be our correct orientation for escape burn. Again, it would probably help to turn the reactor on. I don't know what's going on here with the planet's motion, but I'm going to quick save and quick load, because something's weird. Okay, so I accidentally zoomed in a bit, but it's a bit too late now. It's a very cool looking pink hot gas giant. I don't know if I'm going to do anything other than fly by this. I'm just going to go ahead and read it now. Hades is a hot gas giant that orbits very close to Cronus. Its high atmospheric temperatures give it a slight glow. Despite being similar in size to Joule, it's only about 1/7 the mass of Joule, resulting in a less dense and more fluffy atmosphere. Interesting, 6700 kilometers. 1/10 of a G at the surface. Interesting. Atmosphere present. Radius. Atmosphere height 300 kilometers. 100 atmospheres. So gas. You're a typical gas giant. So if I had known that, I probably would not have come here. So the question now becomes: can we gravity assist off of it to get us closer to Ares, or possibly even Themis, Artemis? So that I will attempt to do that. Because like, there's nothing to land on here. There's nothing I can do besides just say hi. Okay, so not much gravity assist potential, unfortunately, it's looking like. I might be able to get my ascending and descending nodes in the right spot, though. Maybe not, though. Okay. I'll come back to you when I know what I'm going to do. Okay, so here's the situation. Not really useful for gravity assist at this orientation. Like, we don't really have much we can gain from it at this point. So we're going to try dipping into the atmosphere to grab some of the science. I'm not sure if we're coming in on the day side or the night side. I hope we're going to see the day side. Because, you know, hot Jupiters are very interesting, like, worlds conceptually, of course. But the issue with them is, unfortunately, with a ship like this, they're not very interesting. You can't really do anything there in Kerbal Space Program except go into the atmosphere. And, of course, you can't really justify placing a moon there, because... sorry, do I even have the Cronus science yet? I don't think I have the Cronus science yet, so I'm going to grab the Cronus science. I do have the Cronus science. Okay, now I gotta delete the science. Oops. Alright, and you can't put a small moon there, because there's no room for a small moon. Like, it would get ripped apart by the sun if you're trying to go the realistic route. Less intense gravitational pull. Implications for overall structure and composition. Fluffy Joule. Interesting to study atmospheric composition. Okay. Let's collect the science. And let's see what Valentina thinks of this place. Hades loomed large in the distance. A massive gas giant with a faint ethereal glow. The bright light of the star cast long shadows across the Kerbal suit, and the Kerbal felt weightless as they drifted through the emptiness. It was a surreal and awe-inspiring experience to witness the majesty of Hades from such a vantage point. Interesting. That one goes hard. Alright, so big, hot gas giant. Not the hottest gas giant I've seen, but it's certainly up there. In space high. So in space low should be happening in a couple of moments here. It's like a painting. It's like something you'd find in a museum. The readings of the gravity scan showed a notable difference between Hades' bright side and dark side. Difference. Okay, that's expected. Turbulent atmosphere. Swirling gases, like a painting. Temperature, atmosphere, of course. And then, of course, you've got another one. This goes really hard. As the Kerbal stepped out of the spacecraft, they were immediately struck by the swirling clouds of the gas giant. The atmosphere was thick and hazy, with a range of colors that seemed to shift and change as they moved. The Kerbal could feel the heat emanating from this planet, despite being so far away from the surface. As they floated in the void, they couldn't help but feel both small and awed by the immense size and power of the gas giant. Dun dun dun. You know, it must feel like a little bit weird writing science definitions for a mod, because you know that some of them will never ever actually be seen, because, like, you know, the amount of people who like use plant mods and play through plant mods in science mode and are still like getting science from everywhere at the end is a bit small, and even then, like, they may not find it worth it to carry the Science Junior around. So a lot of these science definitions are probably never actually going to get read, which must feel a bit like disappointing while you're making them. It's my thing. So now we're approaching the atmosphere. We should, fingers crossed, not burn up. It should be perfectly fine to stay in the atmosphere for a few seconds. There we are. Actually, no, wait, we have 2 minutes in the atmosphere? Okay, interesting. Decreasing in atmospheric readings. Gradually thinning out. Cruise assessment. Extremely high temperatures. Intense heat. Intense heat. Okay. No, nothing unexpected. We are, like, the star is literally right there. This has not been the closest we've been to a star, but it is pretty close. Collect all. So yeah, that's our atmospheric analysis. I did get this one right. Yes, I did. Okay. And we're out of the atmosphere again. Let's go. Okay. So now, our next target is either Ares or this guy, this system. I will let you know when I'm there. Actually, hold on, this would be a great place for the Oberth effect. Let's burn prograde right now. Alright. It is just about time for our first look ever at Ares, which is going to come up with this orbit. I know my trajectory is not perfect, so I'm going to be correcting it while I give my initial impressions. So 1 moon at least. That's the textures loading in, so I shouldn't zoom in much further. Because, like, one thing I have not seen so far on this journey is a moon of suitable size to use my lander on. This moon is at a weird inclination, so we may be able to burn anti-normal. Is it possible? Oh no, the node is already at the periapsis. That's fine. Okay, I kind of saw it, but that's fine, and we can correct that easily later. So let's get closer to the planet. I think that's going to be a radial out. It's going to be radial in. No, it's going to be radial out. Okay. This thing have an atmosphere. What's the atmosphere at? 71,000 meters. So that should be an acceptable altitude. Okay, let's keep pressing that button instead of the time warp button. Turn the reactor off. Well, the reactor was off. Okay, turn the reactor off again. Let's go to Ares. And that moon looks to be fairly large, I think. Maybe. Or maybe just the icon I saw. I'm not entirely sure. But anyway, let's see. Let's see this with our own 2 eyes. Oh yeah, that is a grand. I mean, that's just an object enhancement acting up. But I think that is a very large moon. Yeah, that is a very large moon. Wow. So ringed planet, large moon. It's like Duna and Ike. But wow. That might... I'm not entirely sure if that's Tyler-sized or if that's Mun-sized yet. Because I might be able to use my lander there. Probably not here, though. This is probably too big of a planet for the lander. Whoa, okay. Right through the rings. Oh, nice. Okay, I completely forgot that I was in an ion ship for a second, so I am not going to be able to enter orbit on this pass. It'll take a bit to enter orbit, is my observation here. There's the rings. Ooh, sparkly. It just feels like I can reach out and touch them. Let's run the science experiments. Gravity just a tiny bit higher than Kerbin, so definitely no landing on this one. Measuring the temperature is impossible. Dash rate 0. Yada yada yada. Collect all. And let's do an EVA report while we're at it. Sarah is an impressive... Sorry, Aries is an impressive... The names are backwards in this. I wasn't trying to talk about you. The names are backwards. Like, in this planet pack, all of the... Aries. Okay. I did not mean that. Okay. Aries is an impressive sight from high above, with its beautiful ring system and barren, rocky surface stretching out below. As you float weightlessly above the planet, you are struck by the desolation of the landscape and the toxic, lifeless lakes that dot its surface. And we're just about to get destroyed going through the rings here. Let's go in and see. Okay, so it is just a flat plane, but it doesn't look like a flat plane from a distance, and that's what counts. Collect all. Whoa, this would make a nice thumbnail. Okay, so now we just have to see if we're actually going to make orbit, which we're not going to make orbit. Like, there's no way we're going to make orbit. But toxic lakes, I'm intrigued. Yeah, we're going by at 4 kilometers per second. No way we're going to get to orbit. Although, we should get to orbit before we get out of the Spearman of the Lens, so it's not going to be a great orbit. So there's not really any reason to get that low except for the science, which I'm not that concerned about science because we basically have everything we need for everything we want. Like, we're not going to need huge launch vehicles. We just want to what's the word? I don't even remember the word. The word is the Joule 4 gridded ion thruster. And let's see what's up at this moon for here. So we don't really need to get any closer. Like, cool planet. Very cool planet. I might come back. But again, just to rehash, just to set expectations. The priority here is to fly by everybody at least once, just so we see them all. Because if I try to land on them all, there's no way that I'm going to do that before I get done with the series. Land on the interesting ones, and get as close to the black hole as possible. Like, land on something that's right next to the black hole. That's my 3 main goals for this series. Just to set expectations. Especially because college is starting back up in a week. Wait, when's the... 2 days from now? Okay, alright. I may have made a critical blunder. Okay. I will fix the trajectory. No biggie. And I'll just encounter the moon at a later date. Okay, there we are. So now we fix that. And actually, no, we're fine. We can take a 50-kilometer periapse. That's no big deal. You know, while I was there, I should have taken a closer look. I completely forgot to do this. So what's this one called? This one is called Cupid. Okay, so Aries and Cupid. So let's just read the descriptions. Aries is a barren, rocky planet with a striking ring system and several large lakes. Unfortunately, the lakes are toxic, and there is no known evidence of life on Aries. Cupid is the only moon of Aries, and its surface is marked by large craters, indicating that it has absorbed many severe meteorite impacts that would have otherwise struck Aries. The moon is also geologically active, featuring a significant number of active volcanoes on its surface, as well as massive mountains that are visible even when near Aries. Can we land on it? What is its gravity? 0.15. So it's very promising that we may be able to land on this guy. So this is Cupid. Does not look very Cupid-like. I do see... Ooh, no joke, there is a bunch of volcanoes there. I want to land near one of those. That sounds cool. Let's do some science while here. Gravity is weak but fairly uniform at this distance. Dough ball, I'm calling it. If Min misses the ice cream moon, Cupid is the dough ball moon. Surprisingly, the International Astronomical Union now unanimously assented to such a motion. Seems that everyone back home is hungry for human humor. Measuring the temperature of space is impossible. Your stark stupidity for running a barometer scan in a vacuum locale warrants laudation and rewards in the form of a mandatory invitation to BOP upon mission conclusion for an exclusive interview with the Kraken. We look forward to your return to Kerbin in sufficient well-being in anticipation. That is the words of someone who has been writing science definitions all day. And it's 3 a.m. and they just want to be done. Okay, EVA report. Oh, I didn't know you could have different colored text in the reports. The sole moon of a cold desert world. Einstein-Rosen bridges do not count. It was not if it was not already obvious. Around a Kerbal analog is a rather unremarkable place from a far viewer. The closer inspection may reveal more, unless the encounter leading you to its hero, which was unintentional or occurred due to anomalous data, reads its glitches, mind gravitating closer to further scrutinize Cupid. Okay, I see a lot of big words being used. Interesting. Orbit retrograde? Well, let's just get into orbit before we do anything else. Don't do anything too drastic. I think we're actually too far away to do that. Our periapsis is going to hit the surface if we continue much further, so let's start, like, here-ish. That should work. And boop, there's orbit. And we should enter a fairly circular orbit. Yep, I timed that perfectly. Wonderful. Okay, since our orbital velocity is this low, and there's sufficient interesting surface features, I am saying that this is where we're going to use the lander. I may regret that when I find something even more interesting down the line. But yeah. So this, I'm going to target this volcano right here. That looks fairly big, fairly pronounced. Seeing... We could do one orbital pass before we... Yeah, okay. I believe it was this volcano I was targeting. Yep. Okay. Interesting location. Confirmed. Have I done low space science? I don't think so. Subsurface magma flow. Fittingly lumpy. Gravity scan. That's not the gravity scan. The rotor is not pure aware of just how hot it can get down there. Ah, yes, a barometer scan in a vacuum. Like the lowlands, the midlands resemble fresh bread dough in hue, though with a lumpier appearance owing to the elevated cragginess of the region. If Dipex hue resembles bread dough and minimus of minty ice cream, is there a world resembling spaghetti or pizza? And no, IO does not count. The current speculation concerns in-universe celestials. Interesting. You've got... This mod has 2 science definitions. Number 1 is, why are you using a barometer in a vacuum? And number 2 is Shakespeare. Okay, I'm going to make a gigantic quick save in case I make this up. Because I actually never did test undocking this. But the quest has now split in 2 after 25 years in space. Alright. Targeting a volcano. Anti-normal. Let's activate these manually because I don't want to accidentally stage off our re-entry capsule. Okay, that appears relatively well lined up. Let's go retrograde. Now, I don't want to land directly in the volcano. Okay, not gonna lie, I kind of do want to land directly in the volcano. I feel like that'd be a cool thing to do. I don't know if I can, though. I don't know how good this mod is programmed. Like, will it kill me to land directly in the... Oh, okay. It's got particle effects. Hold on. I'm going to lower the spacecraft volume a bit, because that is very loud in my ears, so it's probably even louder in your ears. Let me really quickly check the levels. Okay, I'm comfortably above it, although it is very loud in my ear. That looks very ominous. Maybe I should lay on the ridge, first. Okay, I think I'm gonna go in. I think I started burning way too late. Off, SAS, up. I can't see anything. Okay, let's go over the volcano. Ah! No! No! Ah! We're gonna... Okay, oh, I have infinite, temperature on. Okay. Right, I forgot. I had that turned on to... Up! 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 Okay. How hot is our hottest part? It's 188%. just so we get that a little bit nicer and more legit, I am going to go ahead and load the quick save that we made. Well, absolute props to the mod offer for coding localized heating in like very small areas. That is very. I would not have. I didn't even know you could do that. Like I know you could do it like by biome, unless that is a biome. I'm not entirely sure. We'll see. So just to make sure we're doing this legitimately, how close can we get now? Let's turn off ignore max temperature, because we had it on for. I don't know how many episodes ago that was, but we did have ignore max temperature on, because there was a glitch, where it would just what would it do? The ship would just explode at high time warps because thermal stuff and reactors and whatnot. Okay. Now can we set this down gently on the rim of the volcano? This is scary. And if I'm not careful, I'm going to use up all my fuel for the ascent. Because this actually... what's the slope here? This is kind of flat. Which is about as far as I want to travel. This is good. Okay, stop that. Okay. Alright, can we maintain straight up orientation? Like, are these landing legs good enough? Okay. I think on this patch of land, yeah. I don't think we'll tip over. Okay. Alright, we're good. We've landed. We've landed on, what's this world called again? Cupid. Now, when I don't know what I don't know what you think when you think Cupid. When I think Cupid, I do not think gigantic death volcano. But wow, that's really something. Okay, let's run the science. Gravity center load MUN. What's the MUN? Concerning safety, steep slope volcanic cones are decently hazardous for their steep incline and may lead to several accidents that may prove detrimental to your mission progression. At least the heat you would expect to emanate from the surface of an active volcanic cone is absent here, right? Right? And no, there is little need to worry about volcanic eruptions here, given that the vacuum environment would immediately cool erupting lava and any potential pyroclastic flows to the point of becoming slow-flowing, easily avoidable lahar flows. Just for Kraken's sake, never venture within proximity of the active volcanic event. You aren't already near it, are you? Temperature scan. Sloping sides of the volcano do not seem to be hotter than the rest of Cupid. Interesting. Is thermometry not a more apt experiment to execute in the proximity of the volcano, more so in an atmospheric environment? Even with volcanic outgassing, the pressure of released gases would read practically a vacuum environment, much like the rest of this otherwise internally static and atmospheric void world. Shakespeare and that's combining Shakespeare and atmosphere. Maybe I'm just really tired though. Where was the review data? I think it was the crew report that was the edgy one. Okay, hold on. I'm going to. Oops, daisy. I was going to take a screenshot, and I accidentally, throttled up. So I will, load that quick save. I'm not entirely sure when the last quick save was. I'm going to do a big quick save. Okay, alright. Load quick save. I was going to send that to someone on Discord, but my screenshot key involves shift. Don't tell me we have to do that all again, right? Okay, we're good. Maybe. Okay. Okay. So it does place us a little bit up, because terrain here is a bit weird. But yeah, I'm going to send that to the people who suggested me this mod pack on Discord. Alright. First steps on a volcanic world. Valentina Kerman. I mean, I suppose the home world might be volcanic too. But, like, take server sample, EVA report. Volcanic rock. Gee, who would have thunk? Relative elevation in the volcano region is higher than the rest for obvious reasons. The volcano is either a stratovolcano or a cinder cone volcano, judging from its steep conical shape and equally steep slopes. Mean ground temperatures are likely higher here, though with our suits in place, it would only be detectable via ground thermometer readings. Mega-quick activity is excited here. Best to inquire further about that with an actual seismometer, though. Right, because we don't have that unlocked yet. I would have brought it. Let's plant a flag here. We're going to call this, oh, that is far way down. Mount Mount Cinder. That's not a very creative name, obviously, but you know, it's the first thing that came to mind. Okay. So, I'm gonna quick save here, and I'm gonna see how close I can get to the volcano before I go completely like overheat mode. I think that's gonna be under thermal flux. I'll keep the critical part up. Because once that temperature begins skyrocketing, we know we're too close. $300 Kelvin. If I can get to the edge of this precipice here. 300 Kelvin. Okay, we're still at 300 Kelvin, so this is not where the heating comes off yet. Wow. This is just like, I'm just at the root of a volcano here. Oh man, this is so great. Okay, so how much closer can we get and not just completely fall in? Like, how much EVA propellant do we have left? Okay, we're good on EVA propellant. Like, how far can we go? How far can I push this? 300 Kelvin. 300 Kelvin. Still 300 Kelvin. I think I'm going slow enough that I'll be able to reverse out in time. 300 Kelvin. Oh man. Okay, this is sketch. Oh no, Val, no. Okay, recover. Right now. I need you to recover now. No, wait, nope. Okay. Yeah, we're going all the way in. Oh, we did it. Okay, we recovered. Okay. And we do appear to not be overheating just yet. We're still at 300 Kelvin. This reminds me of the mohole, but like less pointy. I know it's not an altitude thing. We're still at 300 Kelvin. The issue is, at what point do we go home because we're out of EVA propellant? Not even because we don't have, like obviously we can survive at least a year. But eventually we won't have the fuel to get home. At what point do we have to abort the mission because of that? We're still at 300 Kelvin. 700 meters up. Okay, maybe the hit detection isn't as good as I thought it was. Like, maybe we're completely out of the zone where we would be heated up at. Like, maybe this is completely fine. Like, maybe the walls are safe. Like, maybe there's a little bit of a boundary layer, and the volcanic ash is getting ejected upwards out of the boundary layer. Oh, nope. Okay, that's it. That's as close as we can get. But we got pretty close to the bottom. Like, we got a decent way down. Okay, alright, and thus concludes my adventures into the volcano. That's so fun.